Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Please do remember, if you do not like what I say, how I say it, or why I say it, then please do feel free to click off this video and go about the rest of your day in peace. And so we are doing our next video, which was the voted topic of Mabon Blessings, what is coming for you in the fall. So yes, this can be a timeless reading as long as we're referring to, or you're watching it right when there is a fall autumn season coming for you. So I'm also using a tarot deck that I've never used before in a reading. It is the Literary Tarot, so we'll see how this goes. It does have reversals in this particular deck, so we will be reading reversals in this reading. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we have 4 piles here today. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So go ahead and take as much time as you need to meditate and focus on the cards and energies that are calling to you. Again, if more than one pile resonates for you or is calling to you, understand that there is a message there for you. It may just be literally one specific thing and not the rest. This is, again, a general reading, so maybe not everything's going to hit on point, but that's why you got to rely on your own intuition to guide you to the messages that you actually need to hear. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and start diving into the readings. All right, for pile 1, we're going to see what is happening for you this fall season. So, we're going to start off with our tarot. So, we have the 10 of quills in the reverse. We have the 6 of light. And we have the King of ink. So, we're going to get into these particular cards. But basically, quills refer to swords, light refers to cups, and ink refers to wands. And if we had parchments, that would refer to pentacles. So, we're going to get into this. So with the 10 of quills here, so again, all of these cards, it's the literary tarot, so they all refer to specific stories. So there might be something in reading that particular book that might be helpful for you this fall. So this is the Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. God, I can't read today. But basically, in the reverse position, this is talking about survival, improvement, healing, lessons learned, despair. Then we have the 6 of light, which is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. And in its upright position, this is referring to nostalgia, memories, healing, sentimentality, pleasure. And we have The King of Ink, which is The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. In its upright position, we're talking about vision, control, daring, decisive, and not decisive, decision. God, I can't read today. And boldness. So with all 3 of these cards being here, so even though we have the 10 of swords, which again, traditionally in the upright position, the 10 of swords is talking about an ending. It's talking about, things just didn't go the right way. But with here in the reverse, yes, it's still telling you to accept the ending, but it feels like you've learned a lot through this. So obviously with this fall season coming in, there is an ending of some sort for you all, but it's all about you survived it. And through it, you've come to a point where you can improve a lot. There might be a lot of things that come up this fall which are going to make you feel very nostalgic. It's going to reconnect you to your childhood in a lot of ways, but it's also really important that you take the lessons that you've learned through whatever has ended, or maybe it's even something from the past, reviewing, your childhood, however it may, work out for you all, and using that to make bolder decisions moving forward this fall. Going and understanding that you are in control of your life. I feel like there's been issues in the past where you feel like maybe fate is controlling everything. And yes, there is some, if you're talking astrologically, there is certain configurations in natal charts that kind of reference like the outside world having more of an impact on you than necessarily internally, like being drivers. so to speak. But you're still in control. You still decide how you react to those situations. So, yeah, there's definitely a big sense here of kind of returning home this fall. So, I don't know if some of you maybe are going back, you're visiting family, maybe it's like Thanksgiving break or something, or fall break, depending on how your university or your college works or your school in general. So, I also get the sense that maybe for some of you, again, because we have that emphasis on vision, I feel like through something ending, you're going to get a new idea. And this new idea, it's like tickling at the back of your brain. And even though it can feel pretty daunting and like, oh, I don't know if I can handle that, you need to approach it with like a sense of kind of like childlike wonder and just go for it because it's going to be very beneficial for you in the long run. So let's see what else we got here. We also have the card Foraging. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. There's that boldness, that decision, just going after it. We also have a Fiery Climax approaches with full moon in Aries. We also have Spell with manifestation. And you also got Athame with boundaries. And lastly, we have the Wood Maiden with trust. So this is another story that maybe you guys will find inspiration through. So let's start with the Fiery Climax approaches. So with this, it's time to see if you've been a little bit too much me, me, me. There's a tug of war going on between what you want and what someone else wants, but you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. As you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have done. If you know deep down that you've been a little rash or harsh, gone too far, overstepped the mark, then accept that on some level you've created the situation yourself, which means you can create your own way out of it too. When this card comes up, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. So maybe this is kind of referring to like that 10 of quills where it's like we're kind of building up to like the end of a situation. And so again, I feel like in how you guys approach and how you handle it is going to kind of determine the outcome of it. So, to attune to this moon, be nice, be kind, smile, and be polite as you navigate to where you want to be. Additional meanings are being assertive is good, just don't ride Ross out over anyone. If you're in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace. Don't be a baby. Sorry, but this could be the issue. You need to have more fun, more of that, like, again, a little bit more of childlike wonder. So, again, Aries is one of those signs where, again, maybe some of you natally have an Aries moon, but yeah, Aries has that, we talk about it's being bold, it's being brash, it's go, 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 excitement. But the other part of Aries is that there is a sense of childlikeness and maybe sometimes even naivety um with Aries. There could also be a lot of fear with Aries because it's kind of like when a child is kind of like, oh, I'm afraid of the dark. There's a sense of creating a enemy out of something when there really isn't one there. I feel like with Aries energy, sometimes when it's like when you're not working with the energy correctly, it's like you can become very afraid of things. You can even become afraid of experiencing things because of possible danger. That's something I feel like with Aries where it can go into the negative is that sort of sense. So I would watch out for that. Creating enemies where there isn't any. So let's also look at Foraging, which is our Mabon Oracle. And that is card 17. Oh, my ear is so stuffy right now. God. Sorry if I sound funny at all because it's like my ear is just stuffy. So keywords here are authenticity, hidden talents, acting upon your uniqueness, and effort. Your higher self chose this card because sometimes you need to go out looking for food, even though the grocery store is just down the road. Although the store is convenient, your life dish may require an ingredient the store can't offer, or perhaps your soul is seeking a more authentic flavor experience that is unique to you. The foraging card has found you because it's time to get up, Go out into the world and discover all that is waiting for you to pick up and put inside your basket. It's tempting to take the easier road, but the path is crowded with hordes of people attempting to do the same. They look the same, do the same things, and are ultimately lost in the sea of conformity and ordinariness. And that kind of, again, I've actually never read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. So, but just off the image alone, it's like you can see in the background, there's all these other kids, working on painting this fence or whatever, and he's over here gonna, take the pie. So again, there's a sense here of maybe this fall, again, being a little bit more bold, being a little bit more like stepping out of your comfort zone. It's not that you need to overstep boundaries necessarily, because again, we do have this boundary card coming up here, so this is going to reference, making sure that your boundaries aren't crossed. But I also feel like, is you're not crossing too many other people's boundaries, but don't just conform. I feel like part of the ending that's happening for you is a realization that, hey, conforming or going with the herd isn't the best option for you. Sometimes you need to forge your own path and do something a little bit different. Get a little bit wild, get a little bit crazy. Take a longer break than necessary and go spy on the pie on the windowsill or something, Anyway, by taking the road less traveled, you could stumble upon an undiscovered path of greatness. What makes you unconventional, strange, or completely different? You may not think being eccentric is a strength, but your quirks are what set you apart from everyone else. This is such a true message. Hang on, there's more to it. Receiving this card is an opportunity to discover and embrace your hidden talents and act on them. Perhaps you feel like you have nothing special to offer, but you most certainly do. Truffles are one of the world's most coveted and expensive foods, yet they are notoriously difficult to find. They are always at the base of a tree and generally buried below the soil, hidden from the naked eye. What makes you unique is just the same, and you may need to dig deeper. It may require significant effort, but your discovery will be worth its weight in gold. Exactly. So, in any situation this autumn, whether you're in school, it's job, it's your general life, or maybe even how you approach something like social media, because I can imagine some of you maybe are trying to use social media as like that side hustle kind of thing. And I feel like there could be kind of a vacuum with that, where you listen to everybody's advice of, this is the secret, this is the key to making it big or whatever. And it's like, you know what? It's all bullshit. Okay, like, yes, can some of those things work, but the landscape changes so fast that if that worked maybe then, it's not necessarily going to work now. So it's like, throw all that out to the window. What makes you stand out? What makes you different from everybody else? Because again, there's probably a dime a dozen people doing what you're trying to do. So what is it about you? What do you bring to the table that makes people invested in you and how you're doing that thing? And again, that goes for anything. I'm not just talking social media. It's like your day-to-day job, what you're doing in school, how you approach a subject, how you're learning about things, how you're behaving in your relationships, like your personal relationship, whether it's friend, romantic, whatever. It's like, why are you in this relationship? What do you bring to your partner? What is unique about you? What brought them to you to begin with? What do they see that maybe you yourself are not seeing enough of? So there's a little bit of soul searching, I feel like, this fall for you guys, where it's like you're trying to manifest a thing, but you need to kind of like figure out what it is you are trying to manifest. I feel like you're putting your energy and your thoughts to manifesting something that isn't, you're playing it too safe. Like, think bigger, think wilder, think more eccentric. Think about, like, what is the craziest idea you have in your head right now that you're like, no, I can't do that. That's not going to make any money, or that's just too weird of an angle to approach the subject. Like, stop. Especially if you're like in school, like, this is the time to be more experimental, I feel like. Because again, once you get to the big world, the adult world, you will have to conform a little bit more to certain situations, depending on, like, if you're going to like a corporate job or whatever, you know, that whole thing, pay your taxes, blah, blah, blah. Got to go buy groceries, blah, 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 that crap. Okay. So you need to, if you have the time right now, spend that time doing some wild shit, exploring some things, because it could set you up for like the rest of your life if you experiment and you always approach things from a new like excitement like that. Okay. Anyway, let's look at our witch's wisdom cards here. So we got spell and we got a theme. So we're going to start with a theme. So you are being diverted from your path. Focus on what is truly important. Honor your beliefs and yourself. Don't give in to the superficial demands of others. Set clear boundaries. You would benefit from energy healing. So obviously, because you use an athame to cast a circle. So you need to make sure that your natural, like your energy and stuff isn't being drained, or you're sending your attention to things that don't really matter. Okay. What matters right now is embracing you and like the weird parts of you. Yeah, like in fact, do you actually even know who you are in this very moment? I'm just going to read that whole part of it. Okay. So, your intentions have been rather hazy of late. Nor are you giving the right signals about who and what you are. In fact, do you actually even know who you are at this very moment? It's time to finally focus and get to the point. You cannot expect to be taken seriously if you have not set your boundaries. For by not doing so, you will find either your space, or excuse me, you will find that others cross the line by taking advantage of you or not respecting either your space or you. Your natural energy is being drained, drawing your attention unnecessarily to others instead of what is really important. Athame offers to cut ties with those who no longer serve our highest purpose. Maybe it's that ending, that, Ten of Swords. This doesn't necessarily mean that you will banish these people from your life, only that you won't be taking on their energetic demands, which are drawing you away from your true purpose. Mentally ask the power of Athame to cut these cords in perfect love and perfect trust, and your vitality and focus will return. All right, and then we got spell. So with this, it's saying, it is a good time for you to work spells, for magic abounds, which the fall is always the perfect time for that because the thinning of the veil, things are closer than they seem. Your manifestation abilities are heightened and a magical energy runs through all that you put your focus on. Your gift at this moment in time to bring about your desire is strong as your understanding of the elements, herbs, and candle magic. But remember to be careful what you wish for, as you could be blind to any unseen factors if the action you take is not for the highest good. Manifestation asks that you to heed the threefold law and to remember that wherever you send out comes back. Be transparent about your wishes and take into consideration any consequences that may occur. Live accordingly in harmony with a level of consciousness that will harm none, and be aware of your thoughts and words at every moment. Master this, and you will be in a position to receive all that you ask for. You have the Midas touch right now. Remember to use clarity when visualizing your desires. Use positive affirmations to ensure the outcome you wish for. Your spells are working. Study and follow the threefold law. So, obviously, again, you can manifest a lot right now, but you have to have a clear boundary and a clear line of like, hey, this is what it actually is. And it's coming from me. It's not coming from an outside source. I'm not feeling uncomfortable or unsure because it's something weird or outlandish. Okay. And lastly, we have our Wood Maiden, which is card 39. So with trust, the meanings of this is trust in a gift given. Be content with simple things. A good nature brings great rewards. Fairies come to the innocent and the sweet of temperament. Even small rewards can yield great changes. Awareness can come at a price. So, this is a traditional Czech fairy tale. So, again, I would go and look at it. The actual description here in the booklet is pretty long for the story. So, I'm not going to get into all of that. But obviously, this fall, it's important to, trust in the universe, trust in yourself, and be content with what you have around you. Be content with the simple things. Be content with a nice slice of pie, So there's a sense here that to help you, especially with the manifestation thing, is gratitude. Journal, write 10 things you're gratitude, like have gratitude for every day. or 5 things, whatever. Just some amount of starting and writing about things that you're grateful for. And it could be, and focus on the little things, because that, again, the little things build up into bigger things. We also haven't mentioned the fairies right now. So if that's something that you're thinking about maybe working with, magically speaking, this is a good time for you to reach out and maybe start to form a connection. But again, be aware of how the fae actually work, because they're not all sunshines and rainbows. Do your research. But again, you can offer little offerings and also take care of the little things around you. Nature, if you see a beetle on its back struggling, help it out. There's a turtle in the road, stop, help it. These are little things that nature and the fae and the elemental things appreciate if you take the time to stop and do those things. It's kind of like, it goes back to that foraging card. In fact, we do have like little fairies in this card. It's like, I think you guys will really benefit. And again, don't feel awkward or strange about it, but like going out in nature and just kind of being like a kid again, and just looking underneath rocks, but not like disturbing the nature, just looking and then putting it back gently, and being in awe of like the little things, the mushrooms, the leaves falling on the ground, the way the bugs crawl about, like things like that. I feel like there's a something about connecting with nature in that way that's going to be really beneficial for you guys this fall. And it's going to help to inspire you, because again, overall, I feel like this fall is going to bring you, yes, some endings. It might test you in your relationships just a little bit. I don't feel like it's too bad, because, but again, there's a sense here of like reestablishing your boundaries and like double checking, like, hey, are you on the right path? Have you been doing something lately that you're not learning the lesson from? This is the season where you can be like, oh wow, epiphany moment, I finally learned from that thing. Okay, I'm going to do better now. That kind of situation. So that is what I'm seeing for this pile. If it resonated, let me know. Again, comment down any suggestions for future videos that you would like, because I host polls in my community tab every month for what video I will do next. So if that's something you want to take part of, definitely check it out. I also have Patreon, where I do free posts for my free members, if you guys are interested in that. And yeah, I got a website, all that good stuff. So with that ado, I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Those who picked pile 2, and fun fact, this sticker is actually one of my own stickers. You can find it over on my website if you are interested in getting one for yourself to put on your journal. Again, it's a nice big size, perfect for spooky season. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what's coming for you in the fall. Again, I'm using a new deck that I've never used before in videos, so we'll see how it goes. But we have, for you guys, we have the Page of Ink. We have the 9 of Parchment, which is basically the 9 of Pentacles. I think this is the Page of Wands. And we have the Ace of Swords, or Ace of Quills, essentially here. So each one of these cards relates to a specific story. So we'll kind of get into what that is. Let me go ahead and bring that up. And you got all upright cards, so let's see what's going on for you guys. So with the Page of Ink, this is the story of the Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. And so upright, we're talking about exploration, excitement, fresh ideas, being energetic and being fearless. It's all about your curiosity is what's going to overcome your fear. And I feel like it's going to bring, great success for you all. This is an energy this fall. Just do it. Just go for the thing. Go for the idea. I feel like it could be a very fruitful time for anybody who is in business, or sorry, my camera cut out there for a second, but back to what I was saying. So especially if you have any kind of form of like passive income, you could see this be a really good time period for that. Or again, just something that you've put a lot of effort towards, you're getting the rewards of that. So with the 9 of Parchment here, this is talking about, I'm moving around all my stuff. Anyway, this is talking about the Pillow Book. That's what the literature we're referencing here is. And it's talking about success, achievement, leisure, material security, self-sufficiency. So yes, we're looking at a time right now where you are feeling definitely more self-sufficient. You're feeling more comfortable, I feel like, in your skin. The fall is going to be a really good season for you guys, because it's going to feel like, yes, finally some peace of mind. And so with the Ace of Quills, we're talking about the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, obviously, and the upright meanings are clarity, concentration, vision, focus, and truth. So in order to keep up the good energy of like, okay, success, prosperity, you got to have focus, and you can't be afraid to, be a little adventurous, especially with that page being, fresh ideas, embrace fresh ideas, and have a little bit of like some youthful spirit to you, because that's definitely something that like the Page of Wands always has. It's kind of like a reigniting of old childhood passions in a lot of ways. So the fall is definitely going to be very uplifting, I feel like, for you guys. And especially for some of you who maybe are writers, I'm just getting the sense of that, like, this is a good time frame for you to work on new things or release things or even other creativity things. It's like, just the idea of like passive income for some reason keeps coming to my mind, or like royalties, things that you've put it out in the past. This is a good time to reap the rewards of it. This is when you'll see returns on things, and it's going to make you feel a little like, I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe it's not something that crazy, but maybe some of you come into like some extra money suddenly this fall. Like, maybe you get like a little bit of a bonus at work, or it's just something where you feel like, oh, I can be a little bit more leisurely. I can maybe enjoy like a little treat. I can have a little something extra. Like, I'm just getting the sense here, but it also feels like a fall where the work is still working. Okay, like you're not going to rest on your laurels. Okay, and you shouldn't, because this is the momentum is there. Keep working on it. Keep working. Keep ironing out those ideas. Like Sherlock Holmes, he doesn't sit around. He keeps thinking. He's always thinking. He's got his mind palace. He's always putting together connections, and I feel like that is, keep generating the good ideas. Keep using all of your experiences, your life, to help inform and get more ideas. Like, this is the idea time. Like, this is such good energy, I feel like, for you guys, of like, okay, yeah, I got you. The ideas you get right now can set you up for the rest of the year, or however many months we're talking, so that you can keep like writing on that. Let's see what else we got. So we have Cacao with "You are loved, you are held, and you already are everything you seek." Yes, that's such like a Nine of Pentacles kind of vibe. Like, you are everything you need. We got Coke, cacao. So a little bit of luxury, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of bitterness, a little treat. I'm getting a strong sense to watch out for black dogs. Something about black dogs is a symbol, it's a message, it's an omen, but it's not a bad one. Also, two crows, meh, Hoonin and Moonin. I get a strong sense of that as well. We also have emotions are running high with a supermoon. I don't know if there's a supermoon coming up or not. I'm a little bit out of my loop on my moon phases right now. We also have magical circle with protection, and we have Goldilocks, entitlement. So again, we have another kind of story that you guys can use as inspiration for this autumn. Some autumn TBR. But anyway, let's talk about the cacao with card 5. So this is the keywords of embrace, open heart, and tenderness. Your higher self chose this card because cacao is such a comforting drink to experience. It's like a hug from your nearest and dearest. And when this card appears, it's a message from spirit acknowledging any emotion, hurt, and pain you have felt. Whether you have experienced a breakup, the loss of a loved one, disappointment, or betrayal, cacao reminds you that it's safe to open your heart again. However, do not feel rushed to welcome love from another before you have found love for yourself. What does it mean to you to feel loved, supported, and emotionally nourished? How would your life look and feel if you loved and accepted yourself unconditionally? Feel your heart with the feelings uh, Feel your heart with the feelings these visualizations invoke, and allow them to gently soften you little by little. This card is also a reminder that you are worthy of being loved. You are not broken, no matter what past experiences might have led you to believe. You are a good, kind hearted, gentle soul whose light is needed in the world. Please don't allow anyone's poor treatment to prevent you from letting others experience your light. So that is This is an interesting message to come up because obviously I was praising, positive. This is not an unpositive card. I feel like this is a reminder for some of you that you are deserving of the good things that are coming for you. I feel like you have experienced a lot. You come from a rough background. You've suffered. You have had maybe a rough childhood, or you lost somebody so dear for you. And it could have been recently, but I feel like this is an older wound. I feel like it's from the past, but things from the past have a tendency to try to pop back up again, especially when the veil is thinning. We get messages again, we get omens. um so I feel like, yeah, it's, do not see the good things that are coming your way. And again, I get the sense of like there's fear around the good things, because when you start to see things good starting to happen for you, there's a little voice inside your head that's like, oh no, what bad is going to come? Who's going to yell at me? Who's going to make me feel bad about my accomplishments? Like, what am I going to lose in order to get this good thing? Like, there's a fear around when the good things happen. Again, it's because you've experienced that in the past, but understand that that was the past. And I feel like if you have worked on those things, because again, there's a deep wound here, and you've worked on what this card is talking about, of like understanding that you are deserving of love, you deserve love, you have found your love for you, and you've worked on healing your heart in that way, that's not going to happen again. You need to trust. Okay, yes, emotions are running high with the super moon, but you can be protected. All right, let's get into what else is going on here. Also, something that just came to my mind because I'm like obsessed with this song was Trinket Girl. You got little trinkets on your there could be, the crows are going to bring you little trinkets, something like that. Trinkets bring you joy. Let's talk about the supermoon, since that is obviously very related to this card, I feel like. So there we go, supermoon. This card suggests that the answer to whatever you're asking is uh right writ I don't know what that word is supposed to be. Large, like the silvery full moon set against the velvety night sky. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or relationship, the answer is very. Look at that. You're questioning whether whatever you're working on is going to be successful. If it's going to bring you some relief, it's like there. If you're wondering how successful something is going to be, such as a job or a relationship, the answer is very. To use common parlance, the answer to your question may well be that it's under your nose. This card is about being larger than life, being special and bursting with energy that you can tune into and work with. You can expect plenty of good things and a positive outcome when this card comes up. But you may find there's a lot of emotion to deal with too. Exactly, it's going to draw that up. There's also a sense that the opportunities around whatever you're asking about don't come along every day. So take action. Say yes to a thing. If it seems like, it's a grand opportunity, just say yes to the thing. Just do the thing this fall. Okay. There's opportunity underneath your nose this fall. So have a little more confidence. I know that's easier said than done, especially if you've come, your confidence has been beaten to the dirt by other people in your life in the past, or situations or whatever. But this is the time. I feel like you've done the work. Or at least I feel like a good amount of you who've picked this pile, you have put in that work. And yes, it's sometimes we have little relapses, or we have things that like stick us in the rib again to remind us about the past, but it's like you're bigger than that now. You are bigger than that now. And there's big things coming for you. So success is close. I so yeah, to attune. Success is close. I just must trust. A resolution to your question is closer than you may think. Don't ignore the obvious. Something exciting lies ahead. Make sure you don't blow events out of proportion. Speak to the goddess. Ask for her assistance. Yes, exactly. So next we have our magic circle. Oh, magic circle. So, magic circle appears when caution is advised. This message comes with as a warning. For someone is being untrue. Here we go. This is, yeah. Don't be fooled by appearances or sly words that are formed to lure you in. Withdraw before it's too late. Protection is your greatest ally and calls you to take preventative measures to ensure safety. It's a witch's responsibility to put protection in place whenever magical work is performed. In fact, it is good practice to protect yourself every day, whether you are consciously working with spirit or not. Drawing a circle around you, whether physically with salt or chalk or in the mind's eye, is a strong form of protection. It can protect you against unwanted energies directed by other people, such as psychic attacks, negative thought forms, and from locations such as old buildings. You are not in immediate danger right now, but need to be in a place of awareness to take necessary steps of prevention. I've got some thoughts about this card, so let me finish reading first. Improve your protection. Intense focus and intention are needed when concentrating on protection. Keep thoughts and ideas to yourself. Do not trust simply on face value. Learn and practice thorough protection techniques. You are protected from all harm. So again, please remember, because I could feel the anxiety rising for some of you, like fucking again. Uh, that kind of thing. Like, I can't handle it anymore. You are still protected. You are always protected. But this is a call that with the fall season, with energies flying around, again, the past likes to creep up again. You need to refresh your protection boundaries. Maybe wear an amulet to help protect you. Protect your house, cleanse your house, all that good stuff in general. But this is calling to mind that right as you're near success, especially big success, the things and the people from the past that like to feed off your energy, especially if you're an empathetic person, you and you came from a back oh god, sorry. You came from a background where again you had those kind of people in your life. Guess what? They're gonna always come around and stiff around again, right as you're about to, they it's like it's something about people with that energy where it's like I just recently said this to somebody where it's like they orbit around each other. They're operating at the same frequency, and so it's like when one pops up, it's not long that the other one pops up because they orbit each other. So when that happens, some things to keep in mind is again, you are a bigger person now. You are a stronger person than you were in the past. You don't have to put up with that abuse or whatever that situation is. And again, you can draw your magic circle and give all those people a big middle finger, okay? Um and again, keep your ideas, especially if you get those fresh new ideas like I was talking about with this fall season, bright new exciting ideas, success with your projects. It's like keep that. Don't tell those people that information because they don't deserve to have it and they're going to try to use it against you to shit on your shine. All right, it's no matter how much you would like to see the good in people, it's as much as you would like to see the good in people, you're gonna have this. You gotta watch out. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it the way that's coming in my head. You gotta watch out for that blonde bitch trying to come into your bed and eat your porridge, okay? Like, protect your circle, and it doesn't mean that you have to be a mean person by any means, not at all. But it's just like you have to be wiser to know, like, this isn't a good fit, to go back with the Goldilocks analogy. It's like, yeah, no, no more. Like, I've lived this, I've done this, I've tried this. It's like this person, this place, whatever. It's like it is toxic for me, and it does not deserve my time, my energy. Protection circle up, go away. I'm focusing on the me and the here and the now and the success that's coming my way. All right. Speaking of entitlement, let's talk about Goldilocks with card 10. So obviously, we all should be fairly familiar with the Goldilocks story. So the key meanings here are privilege is earned, trespass of personal space, protection circle, search for perfection. Don't be looking for perfection. So you can get so caught up in that search for perfection and making something perfect that it ends up just you'll never progress further from that. immature approach, disrespectful person. Watch out for people who have an immature approach to things. Watch out for the disrespectful person. Ignorant of boundaries. Watch out for those people who are ignorant of your boundaries. Superiority when humility would be best. Exactly. Ask permission before taking. Learn from your errors. Be wise about potential danger. Again, we have that emphasis. Again, I feel that there's echoes a natural fear that you all have inside of you, because again, it comes from a background of you have experienced some bad stuff in the past. So you have unfortunately like conditioned yourself. And this could also be like generational. It doesn't just have to be you. It could be something that's been like carried over, like literally it is an actual phenomenon that they've studied in science, where it's like people, their ancestors and stuff who experience really traumatic stuff, it does carry on in the DNA. So again, it could be related to that, but it's like, again, you have this expectation that something bad could happen when something good is about to happen, and it's an unfortunate thing to think about, but it doesn't have to be the case this time, because again, you're not the same person you were yesterday. You've learned, and yes, emotions can run high sometimes, but there's so much good that can be taken advantage of here. So you need to trust, and you need to make sure and just be aware of the potentials of those repeating patterns. Look for the repeating patterns of the people and or the places where it's like they always do this. You see it now. And it's like being aware of it is the first step to the battle. And here, it's the most important one, because now that you're aware of it, you can choose to do something about it. And the thing that you can choose to do is protect your energy and say no more. And again, a lot of sometimes with people like this, they will keep pushing. They will keep trying to dig through your boundaries. And it's like, you can't, as irritating it is to deal with it, you just have to keep saying no. Ugh. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for your guys' reading. Again, overall, I feel like the fall can bring a lot of really good stuff, but expect, or again, maybe rethink your thinking of like, okay, just because the good things are coming doesn't necessarily mean that something's bad's going to happen, but I'm just going to, check my T's, cross my I's, all that kind of thing. And make sure that I'm protected, make sure that I'm good, make sure that I'm not spilling the beans. I'm being wise about the information I provide to people. Just so, because, I know that there's people out here that will continue to do that because that's just the type of person they are, unfortunately, but it doesn't mean that I need to give them more fuel for the fire, okay? So, as always, make sure that you comment down below your thoughts, as well as requests for future readings and videos, because I always host polls in my community tab to have you guys vote on what readings I should do next. And yeah, it's very helpful for me to get that feedback so I know what you guys are interested in and all that good stuff. I also have a Patreon where you can go and see free posts and free content if you become a member, or you can pay to get more exclusive stuff, especially if you like my art side of things. I have another YouTube channel that kind of focuses more on the art side of things. Instagram, Blue Sky, Substack. I also have a Substack now. I haven't really done much with it yet, but I'm figuring it out. But yeah, if you're interested in that, go check all of those links in the description. All that good stuff. All right. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. For those who chose pile 3 with the little blackberries. Little blackberry demony girl thing. We're going to see what's coming for you in the fall. And again, I am using a new tarot deck that I've never used in readings before, so we'll see how this goes. But for you guys, we have the 10 of Light, which is essentially the 10 of Cups. Okay. We also have the Emperor card. This is actually the first major arcana I think I've seen come out in the readings so far. So the fall is going to be important for you guys. And we have the 6 of Parchment, but it's in the reverse. So, this would essentially be the 6 of Pentacles. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into, and each one of these is related to a different piece of literary fiction. So we'll talk about each one of those. So we're going to start with the Emperor. So this is the Pirate Investigates, hopefully by Agatha Christie. But in the upright position, this is talking about authority, control, focus, structure, and protection. So you guys have some protection around you. We also have, again, let's see what's going to be, the Ten of Light, which is also in the upright position, which is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. In the upright, this is talking about happiness, emotional stability, security, domestic harmony. And then we have our reversal, which is that Parchment. Six of Parchment, which is Les Miserables. I cannot pronounce that correctly. I'm sorry, okay? By Victor Hugo, obviously. So in the reverse, it's talking about abuse of generosity, strings attached, gifts, inequality, extortion. Offer your wealth with care and know that sometimes it will never be repaid or returned. Should you ransom the soul of another, like the bishop did for Jean, do so free of expectations and selflessness. All right, so we have a little bit of a warning here. It's interesting because we have that authority, the emperor, the control, the focus, and then we have, abusive generosity, strings attached, inequality. So there's a need here for, I feel like this fall to watch out for. There could be maybe a family member who reaches out to you who's asking for money or support in some ways, or maybe a friend. I mean, it could be anybody, but somebody who's going to be asking for your support. And again, it could be something simple, or it could be literally like money, whatever. They're asking for that, and they're saying, "Oh, I'll definitely pay you back in like a week or whatever." It's like, be cautious of people who are asking for handouts, because it's likely that you're not going to see the return on that. So be just cautious this fall. But again, we have the Emperor and we have the Ten of Lights. So I feel like, especially with these two together, it's like you are becoming in a position where it's like you have to take care of the family. You are running the show. You have to be able to structure things correctly. You have to be able to focus, and you need to also know how to delegate power, how to rely on the right people. I feel like that is another important idea. Make sure that there's not inequality in the way things are balanced. I also get the sense, and maybe this is not, it could also, if it's not referring to your actual family, it could literally refer to like your company or your job or whatever, where it's like, oh, we're like a family here. It's like, if there's any of that connotation around it, watch out, because I'm also getting this warning sense of like somebody tries to put you in the spot of leadership or power, and it's like it almost seems too good to be true, because maybe it is, because for some of you, maybe they're trying to put you on the fall for a mistake or something, trying to blame you for something. So I feel like it's really, really important to keep very good records this fall. Keep the receipts. Make sure you have proof. Make sure that you check all your documents well, all that good stuff. With the Ten of Light, we're talking about as happiness, emotional stability, security, domestic harmony. In finding a stable partner, if not the most exciting, you've secured comfort and you've secured comfort and harmony. You need only step out into the city streets, or look into the past to see the contrast between your idyllic life and everyone else's. So there's a need here to be appreciative, I feel like, and happy for the things that you do have. I'm almost getting the sense of something where it's like your relationships are going to be a little bit tested. Like, please don't take this the wrong way, but the thing that came into mind was like, oh, somebody really handsome or very beautiful is like flirting with you at work, and it's like, oh, you're a little bit tempted to like buy into their flirtations. It's almost like they're trying to like dangle, like, oh, look at the life that you could have with me. Don't fall for it. It's not real. And the minute you do, there is a potential here to absolutely ruin everything that you have if you kind of, you know, go for that seductive whatever that whole thing is. It's like, no, that's not real. And even if they swear up and down they'll love you more than the other person that you're around, it's like, don't fall for it. I get the sense here of like almost taking for granted what you have just because it seems so simple. Like, oh, you have maybe a stable partner, somebody you're dating who seems very stable, but they're, I almost could say, oh, but they're not the most exciting person or something. And like somebody else comes up and they're riding on a Harley or something, like, oh, the bad boy versus the good boy kind of thing. And it's like, oh, but you want the bad boy. Like, don't fall for that shit. You should know better than that, okay? Like, come on. Don't let you could have very good, stable, secure everything as long as you don't fall for this. Like, come on. Interesting. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. So we have coming of darkness. um, all the light is dimming, life is withering at the core. Are you ready? We also have look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius energy. What is Sagittarius energy like? The stereotype of Sagittarius, they like to travel, they like excitement, but they don't like commitment. That's again the stereotype. It's not obviously everything else in your chart matters, but again, we're talking about a stereotype energy with Sagittarius with that. Watch out. We also have Witch with the Healer. We also have two of these. So these are some additional stories that you might want to look into this fall that might bring insight. So we have Vasilla the Brave with Courage, and we have Brother and Sister with Transformation. All right, let's talk about the Coming of Darkness with card 7. We're talking about preparing coming of darkness. Those are our key words. Your higher self chose this card because a storm is about to hit, and it's a warning to take steps now to prepare for dark times ahead. All cycles must come to an end. It's common to hear the phrase, and this too shall pass, in reference to difficult situations. Rarely, however, is this advice given for good times. Perhaps it's critical to enjoy periods of abundance and happiness, but it's also important to remember that the good cycles of life will also pass at some point. The tables will turn, and while you can't do anything to stop the natural ebb and flow, you can lessen the blow as much as possible. So I feel like also this might be a very good time for you to be saving your money. Don't be doing like extravagant purchases right now, because again, you could be maybe the one who's asking for something in return. Anyway, the tables will turn, and while ebb and flows, you can lessen the blow as much as possible. When you receive this card, consider where you need to take steps to be better prepared moving forward. Is it time to open or bulk up a savings account? Do you need to do more research? Be ready with an elevator pitch or get business cards made. Perhaps you have seen some instability with your employer, and it might be time to consider looking for another job. The signs are right in front of you. And the first thing that gives you a feeling of unease is likely when you'll experience some challenges moving forward. So watch out. If you have that weird feeling in your stomach, you're feeling uneasy, or whatever, like that is your warning sign right there. Okay, that's what you got for that card. Interesting. Let's look at the bigger picture with the full moon in Sag. So full moon in Sagittarius. Are you thinking too much about the details of your dilemma? Fretting over the minute can be counterproductive. Or perhaps you're being all talk and no action. This card is a reminder that while it's good to think things through, sometimes you need to step back and look at the bigger picture. What do you see when you look at your current situation? What's the most positive thought you can have about it? Now is the time to count your blessings, even if you don't yet have exactly what you want. The card is also a reminder that we often have to take a few risks and go with uncertainty on this journey called life. Try to keep an open mind about what's for the best. The universe could surprise you. Take time out for a mini break or adventure. The situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. Interesting. So, yeah, like I feel like you need to remind yourself of like how far you've come and what you have now. Because I just get the sense of something trying to test what you have right now, and it's like you could really, I just get the sense that you could really royally fuck up if you are not smart about things. If you're not like the emperor, like, hey, you're saying all this, but I'm reading the receipts and that ain't fucking true. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to be fooled over by anybody. I've come this far. I've built this. I'm not, mm-mm, mm-mm. We're not doing that. All right. So now we have the witch. So, mystery and magic of the old ways beckons you to tap into the ancient wisdom of those who walked the path before you, and to recognize that you are the one and the same. For within your blueprint, you carry the wisdom of the natural healer. The witch within asks you to connect with the knowledge and wisdom that you have accumulated from many lifetimes. For it is time to harness your abilities to help heal yourself and others. For it is seek the wisdom and teachers who mark the land, such as standing stones and trees within a grove. You have absorbed each detail of spent centuries and hold the key to the past. Gather ingredients from plants and fungi. Unlock your herbal knowledge in order to work with recipes for tinctures, elixirs, and healing potions. You are a wise and strong healer. There is nothing to fear and everything to gain when witch crosses your path. You are a natural healer. You have a natural affinity with plants and herbs. Study to qualify as a herbal practitioner. Use complementary medicine and aromatherapy to heal. You benefit from the healing energies of nature. Honor its rhythms and its cycles. So, again, I just feel like that's just emphasis on you as a person. 'Cause again, I'm just getting the sense of like you are the head of the family now. You are the witch of the family. You are the one. So it's like everybody's going to look to you for the guidance of like, how do we prepare for this? How do we get ready for this? So that's what you got to make sure that you're not fooled by somebody who's trying to sweet talk you. All right, we got cards 18 and 25. So with the courage card, it's courage and comfort. Into initiation and facing your fears. From darkness, the greatest light is shown. Guidance from ancestors. A difficult time creates much wisdom. You will pass any test put before you. Do your best, and you will do more than enough. A time of separation from old family or friends. A time of new beginnings. The way forward becomes clear. Elders will teach you wisdom. And this is a Russian folktale. So I'm just, especially with that combined with the coming of darkness, it's like there is an emphasis for you this fall that it could be rough. However, it's going to play out, whether it's a person trying to like pull the wool over your eyes, or maybe it's like financial struggles, whatever it is. Maybe again, it's old, troubling family or friends from the past who are trying to come up and mess with your stuff. It's like there is a need here that you are the pillar. You are the strong one, you are the leader, and you need to keep the nest together because it's going to be tested. The storm is coming, and it's like you got to have the courage to face it all. But you're not alone. You can call on guidance from your ancestors, from the witch within, the witches before you. They're going to help to guide you if you ask for the guidance, that is. So then we have 25, brother and sister with transformation. Meanings here are wisdom and instinct must be brought into harmony. Living a quiet life in the wild. Warnings unheeded. Living with consequences. Phila, love and tenderness. Love and care for those younger than you. Teach others how to balance their instinct and their intelligence. That's so like kind of the emperor energy right there. Find comfort in simple pleasures. Again, simpling it down, not going extravagant this fall, nothing too extreme because you got to save for a rainy day. There's a big emphasis on that. Live a good life. Enjoy the rewards that will come your way. Do not fear envy. It is temporary. Transformation, harmony of your instincts and your mind. The love of a sister. Interesting. So, overall, what do you need to know for this fall? You need to prepare. You need to be a little squirrel hiding your nuts away, okay? Like, we gotta make sure everybody's good. Everybody's got what they need, but not too much. We're not going extravagant right now, you know. We gotta keep it a little bit on the down low, just for the season, just to be sure, because again, there's something that's gonna shake up. I don't know if it can be maybe your partner, maybe there's going to be a loss of a job, or maybe, there's a change in management. Like there's something here. And then I also get the sense of, for some of those who are maybe in a questioning your relationship stage or something, it might be that you're thinking you want something that's, again, I just get that sense of somebody trying to sweet talk you. Again, it could be even in business where somebody's trying to sweet talk you and get you to buy something into something. It's like, no, you do your research, you make sure what they're saying is actually legit, and there's what strings are attached. Don't just don't play it safe this fall, okay? Just cover your ass majorly, because it's not just you. I feel like it's everybody else around you who could suffer from a bad decision, okay? Okay, that's what I'm seeing for this pile. I'm sorry. um if it resonated, let me know, I guess. Tell me how the fall works for you whenever it is you're watching this video. Ah, this is one of those weird piles. I usually have one of them every reading where I'm like, this is like a pile that kind of makes me uncomfortable to read because of what is coming up. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want somebody to get like offended by it. But it's like, that's just what I'm reading, man. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me either. Maybe it makes sense to you. I don't get it. But it's what's coming up in the cards, okay? I can't. This is what wanted to come out, all right? Don't shoot the messenger. That kind of thing. Anyway, comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see for future videos, because I always host polls in my community tab for what we should do next. So if you want to be a part of that, and I encourage you to, because again, it shapes what videos I do next. The more I get interactions on that, the more I get people's feedback, the more I might produce video wise. Maybe. Yeah, but let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Fourth and final pile with our little fawn girl here. We're going to go ahead and see what's coming for you this fall. I am using a new tarot deck that I've not used in readings before, so we'll see how this plays out. So yeah, we have the 8 of Parchments in reverse, which is basically the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Empress. We do love seeing the Empress. It's funny because literally it's only you and the last pile that got major arcanas in your card. So that's important. Pay attention. This is a big season. And we also got the Knight of Light, which is the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Okay, we're going to see what's going on here. All right, so with our Empress, this is The Wife of Bath's Tale by Geoffrey Chaser? I don't know. But in the upright, we're talking about the divine feminine, sensuality, fertility, nurturing, and creativity. You should embrace your divine femininity, like the wife of Bath, who cultivates clever mastery of one's fate. Care not what society thinks, and instead relish in all that you have born, loved, gathered, and made. So that, I feel like, is going to be a really big key in facing whatever's going on with these two reversed cards. So with the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, this is talking about disappointment, tantrums, moodiness, turmoil, vanity. The truth at times, like your emotions, may cloud your judgment. The prudence of the best of heads may often be defeated by the tenderness of the best of hearts, allowing your inferior understanding to overcome your superior. Reason is often a stranger to the secret spontaneous emotions of the soul, which may carry us into lasting dismay. This is Tom Jones is the story with this. And then we have the 8 of Parchment, which is Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. And in the reverse, we're talking lack of quality, bad reputation, and mediocrity. What stands in the way of your great project? Is it lack of skill or motivation? Is it bitterness, self-loathing, some ugliness you can't mask? If you fail to confront these phantoms, you and your masterpiece may never emerge. All right, so with all of those kind of combined, what am I getting a sense here? I'm getting a sense that you're afraid to put out the thing. Okay, like some sort of creative project, some sort of passion project you have. I feel like you're afraid to put it out because I get the sense of here that you're thinking that it's not good enough, that you're going to be disappointed. And I feel like a part of that is because you may not have the most realistic expectations with, say, how that works. Okay, it's just a fact of life as a if you are a creative, which we have the Empress here, so this tells me that you are some sort of creative. Failure is a part of the creative process, and that's something I feel like you don't like. You don't like failure. Too bad. Too bad. Oh, what was the chicken? Okay. Too bad. Like literally that's just what's coming out. Is like too bad. You're gonna fail. You're gonna get rejected from things. You're gonna not hear back from things. That's just part of the process, baby. All right. Like there's so many authors out in the world who like submitted their manuscripts and everything, and it's like got rejected from like millions, not millions, but like more than 20 different publishers saying and then finally one person does and they become like an overnight success. So it's all about continuing to try. All right, something here is also telling me that something you need to work on for the fall is embracing again the feminine. Regardless of how you identify, we all have masculine and feminine energy in us. And it's time for you to work with the feminine energy. It's time for you to be a little bit more uh sensual, to be a little bit more soft, to embrace the goddess energy, which isn't, again, I say soft, but it's not that the goddess energy ain't fierce either. There's softness and fierceness. It's a great balance of all of those things together, okay, with the feminine energy, because she can get fucking pissed. But there's a need here to work on these things and to understand that, yeah, disappointments are a real thing with this, but you can't let it turn you into like sorry, a big baby, okay? Because we have that keyword of tantrums, moodiness, like, oh, I can't believe they didn't like my song or my whatever. It's like maybe it still needs some work, okay? Now this is where you come into the differences between um constructive criticism versus people just being an asshole. you know if somebody is genuinely trying to help you and give you constructive criticism, don't be an asshole back to them, okay? Because they're trying to help you, especially in some situations, like again, when you're applying to things and you're producing your work out there, most of the time people are just going to send you a generic rejection letter, or they won't even tell you at all. But in very, very rare cases, you'll get somebody who will actually reply to you, say you submitted your portfolio, and they'll be like, I'm sorry, it's not for us, it's not for this job or whatever, but here's some things I liked about it, but here's some things that need work. Dude, that's amazing. Take that. Take that and run with it, okay? Because like that is amazing that you got any feedback at all. Even if it's something like constructive, like, oh, you should probably fix this, or maybe you need to tweak that a little bit. It's like that is such a great place to start. I feel like y'all need to get a little bit off your high horse, okay? Because this fall is going to come and is going to test you, because it's like maybe some of you are used to always getting your way, or you're used to being number one. Well, guess what? You're not going to be you know what this reminds me of exactly? A great example of this is when I started at my university, and I went to a pretty good university. And I was a transfer student. I did my general stuff, whatever. And I'm sitting there in the room with some of my peers who also transferred or whatever. And so many of these kids were like, they were AP, English, math, everything in high school, everything in that. And they kind of approached the OAs who were like, they're maybe like what, seniors, whatever, who are like helping out and showing everybody the new ways or whatever. They went up and they kind of were bragging about their AP this, AP that of like high school. And all of these it's like seniors at my university looked at these kids, they're like, huh, yeah, everybody here was AP something in high school, buddy. Like, you need to wake up, because that's not how it's gonna fly here. You're gonna have to still like, you're not a big fish in a small pond anymore. So have a little bit more humility, because it's not how that's going to work here. You're going to be that is the bar. That's what all the professors are expecting, that you were probably AP in something, so they expect more from you. Stress is the key word at my university, what it was. So yeah, that's just the vibe I'm getting. And again, I don't want you guys to get super offended by this. I'm just warning you. All right. Because whatever it is you're trying to do this fall, it's like, if this is the attitude you're approaching with things, it's like, oh, of course I'm going to win, or of course I'm going to get accepted. It's like, get ready for a lesson in humility, and a lesson in failure. Failure is there to help you grow. That is what's going to be happening this fall for you guys. And it's all in how you behave, how you carry yourself. If you act like the Empress and you're gracious and you're like, oh, well, this is just a part of the process. I'm going to grow. I'm going to make something even better from the failure. It's literally manure. It's manure for fertilizer for my garden. It's going to make my plants grow bigger. It's like that analogy. If that's how you treat this thing, and you're very, like, again, you're very professional and you're like, okay, no problem. Thank you for the opportunity. Just to like show you my work, whatever. That's great. But if you turn around and you act like a big baby, like, it's not going to go well. So let's see what else we have here card wise, and maybe help to clarify some of this, because that's just the vibe I'm getting off. I'm not really reading this any other way. Sorry, but let's see. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. We have the crow with pay close attention to the winds. There's a message making its way. We have candles with magic, and we have the fairy ointment with the sight. All right. So especially with the show the world the real you, it's like, that goes back to kind of like the initial thing that I said, where I feel like some of you are afraid to even like put your stuff out there, because maybe you're afraid of failure, or maybe you're afraid of people seeing you for who you are, or whatever it may be. It's like, you can't be afraid though, because you're not going to get anywhere if you're afraid to put it out there. You'll always be on the sidelines. You'll be, like, if you're expecting magic, you got to do something. You got to put something in to get something out. And yes, it's going to come with some discomfort. That's just the facts of life. So let's look more at that Aquarius full moon. So this card brings the message from the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Exactly. You're invested too deeply. Like, I get it. Believe me, I get it. As another creative, to you, it's like your creative things, it is your baby. It is your child, okay? Like, literally, Empress, like, it is your everything. But when it comes to that stage of putting it out there, you have to be able to detach a little bit, because otherwise the trolls on the internet, the rejection letters, all of that is going to feel like a knife. And yes, it's still going to hurt a little bit, but again, you have to understand how to get some of that Aquarius energy, because Aquarius love to exercise detachment when it comes to this. So someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing. It's important for you to allow life to unfold in progress, even if change seems like a frightening prospect. If you've been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what make you special. In a relationship, you're being too aloof, or in a relationship, are you being too aloof or detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up for you. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. Exactly. You can be upset. You can be angry about maybe getting rejected or getting a bad review or whatever. It's like, you're fine, but you got to move on from it, because believe me, there's more than plenty to come of the same thing as you could progress. People, especially nowadays, people love to hate people if they have success. Like, that is a big thing. So just, you got to move on from it. Block, delete, move on. All right. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. A friend needs you, be there for them. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. So again, I've been emphasizing this reading very much, that this is what you guys are doing. It could but again, and I feel like that is strongly the thing. It might be the case for one or two of you that this is actually a friend you're dealing with, and you're like trying to tell them, like, hey, it's okay, it's fine. And it's like, they got to wake up. All right, let's look at the crow, which is card 11. Let's see what the crow has to say. We love the crows. Keywords are something's coming, messages, pay attention. So your higher self chose this card because a message is coming your way. And it's warning you to keep an eye out for important signs and clues of what's to come. Nothing truly manifests without some warning. The signs might be subtle, but they have been prompting you your entire life. You might feel a sensation such as a twinge, a tingle in your neck, or perhaps a decision gives you a sense of dread. You might have an idea that instantly lifts your spirits or feel some electricity when you meet someone new. All of these sensations are clues that attempt to steer you towards a rewarding life. Pulling the Crow card is a sign to trust in your intuition, especially in the coming days. You may be quick to dismiss your feelings as being silly, and perhaps they are in many societies. However, you're connected to the spirit realm, where all things are possible, and the only right answer is the one that gives you a feeling of peace, joy, and success. Trust in your ability to read the messages of the universe and know there is always a pathway to safety for those who know where to look. Whether the message coming your way is good or bad remains to be seen. Look to other cards within your reading or select additional cards for more details. So, adjusting your antenna. It would be best if this exercise could be performed while standing or sitting outside in nature, although it can be done anywhere. Place your palms on your jawline and your fingers cupped over your ears, with your thumbs under your ears. Take a deep breath in and out, then repeat the in and out breaths, but this time lift your fingers from over your ears while leaving your palms on your jawline. It becomes an open door, closed door situation. To close the door, you cover your ears by cupping them. Then you open the door by lifting your fingers away from your ears. Continue to do this as you take deep breaths for at least 1 minute. Then sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes and receive your message. Interesting. Huh. I'll have to try that at some point because that sounds interesting. I've never heard that like described in that way. But anyway, so yeah, pay attention. There's signs, there's symbols, there's messages coming to you. Be prepared. Again, whether they're good or bad, it just depends. So we have candles. Candles. We do love a little bit of candle magic. So your desire to work as a magical practitioner is acknowledged as candles illuminate the path of the wise for you. The spark of inner wisdom calls you to invoke the divine, for true magic begins with your desire to make something happen. Time for a little candle magic. As you gaze into the sacred flame, you are reminded of your true connection to the source, for your soul spark is immortal. Never doubt your abilities of focus, willpower, and visualization, for in doing so, you are disregarding the powers of the world that live beyond that which is seen. Remember, all is magic and illusion. This sacred act of candle magic has been with you since your very first birthday, as you blew out the flickering flame before you and made a wish. You worked with the 3 principles of magic that make dreams come true. Belief in your tools as well as yourself is key as you keep in mind the threefold law when performing any magic ritual. This is a magical time for you. Your manifesting abilities are strong. Keep your thoughts and focus positive. Use candles at home, at bath time, and in sacred ceremony. Study candle colors for healing and magical purposes. Keep shining brightly. Exactly. You got to keep shining. Like the Empress, she's totally shining. She's shining bright. This is the energy you need to approach everything. And yes, start working with candle magic. Use the color look into Candle Magic by God, what is her name? Hang on. Yeah, here you go. The Big Book of Candle Magic by Jackie Smith, founder of Coventry Creations. So this is a really good starting book if you want to get into candle magic. Try this. This might help you, especially like as a creative person. This might give you inspiration for some spell work to do to maybe help you in getting better and positive responses when you submit the things. But anyway, lastly, we have the fairy ointment, the sight, which I feel like is kind of gonna echo the crow in a sense of like being able to kind of like see through the veil, connecting to the messages. So this is card 43. The sight. So this is a traditional folktale from Cornwall. And so the meanings are: think before disclosing your gifts. Psychic powers must be treated with respect. So this is another thing that's coming up for a lot of you. Is like, you guys have psychic abilities. This might be part also of like show the world the real you. It's like you might benefit more, especially if it comes to your creative work, starting to do more ritual. Again, light a candle, get in a meditation, start channeling, like trying to channel your work more, because it could also, that might be part of why, say if you have been applying to things and things aren't going well and people aren't responding well to it, it's maybe because you're trying too hard to make um like whatever you're creating follow too much to the conformity of like what's already out there, because you think, oh, you're looking at this one thing, it's super successful, well, I should make my thing like that, right? And I'll be super successful. No, you need to inject more of you into it. And a huge part of that is embracing whatever spiritual gift you have, because clearly you have one. And I feel like you've been neglecting it for a while. You're not embracing, like, again, we have Phantom of the Opera. It's like the deformity, my scars, whatever. It's like you need to embrace that part. Like really embrace it and put that into your work, because it's like, stop being afraid of it, because it's going to give you that edge with your work. So, psychic powers must be treated with respect. Never attempt to take someone's power. Treat nature and the realm of the fairy with great respect. Ask, do not take. Speak of your gifts with wisdom and discretion. It's not always wise to speak of what you see without invitation. So, again, I would tread the line here, because again, we have the fairies coming up here. So it's like, this, you maybe as like a kid, this is something that you've been able to connect with, like you see the fae, or you have, and or spirits or whatever, and it's like, you maybe as a kid you would talk about it and people around you would tell you, no, don't talk about that, it's bad or it's demonic or whatever. It's like, and so you've like locked that part away and you have fear about it. I feel like a great way of you to start to express it in a good way would be through your work, through a creative outlet. And also it's a good way to start to, again, channel and work with it, because it is, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, it is a part of you, and you need to stop rejecting it, because that's also probably part of why you're not seeing the success you want, because you're heavily rejecting a huge part of who you are. And it's like, until you get everything aligned, it's like you're not going to see things kind of like work out the way that you hope. And so maybe start with trying to learn more maybe about the fae or about the spirit realm, or whatever your psychic ability is. Work with candles maybe is a key to helping with that. And the fall is a great time to do it, man. The veil is thin. So do some research, learn about actually what these things are, and start to gently delve into that. And I feel like a great way for you to do that is inadvertently through whatever creative process you're doing, whether it's writing, singing, drawing, cooking, whatever. It's like through that process and turning it into ritual, it's going to help you. I also feel like you guys really need to separate, again, detach the act of the work from the expectation of the reward from the work. Does that make sense? Like, doing the work and creating it should be reward enough for you. Yes, if you get more out of it, that's great. Like from external sources, like, oh, we're gonna turn it into a movie, or oh, we're gonna pay you this much money, I want to buy this original, or whatever. It's like, that's great. And that is fantastic, and we, of course, we love that when that happens. But that shouldn't be why you're making the work. Does that make sense? Like, you shouldn't be trying to make the work because you're expecting to get a reward. The reward for you should just be making the work. And you know what? You put it out there into the universe, and people like it, that's great. If people don't like it, doesn't matter, because I like it. So, I'm happy at the end of the day. So there's a sense here of kind of playing around with how you want to deal with that detachment from your work. Like, again, for there should be kind of two sides of it. Also, when it comes to something, especially if it's a creative nature and you're trying to put it out there, make it a business or whatever, make sure you learn about the business aspect, because that's a huge part that I think is lacking in education wise for creatives, is actually the business part, because again, it's not the part that we want to deal with. So again, it's but you still need to learn a little bit enough about it so you don't get screwed over. Or again, like you're able to find somebody who you trust who can handle that aspect for you. All right. So this is a again, my last two piles, man, where they had the major arcanas came up were just fucking weird. Very specific and like, like I don't want to like have this not be like a fun hoo hoo ha ha reading, but like the messages are what the messages are. Okay. I am just the messenger. If you don't like it, that's fine. Pick a different pile then. But if you pick this pile, keep that in mind. If you pick this pile and you actually focused with your intuition, this is the pile you picked, there's a reason for it. All right. And that's up to you to figure out, not me. So, with that said, uh, comment down below if you want to let me know what you thought and if this made any sense. And if you have any suggestions or requests for future videos, let me know, because I always host polls in my community tab for what we'll do next. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.